we understand that his White House physician gave the president a treatment precaution, so they call a monoclonal antibody cocktail. Can you explain what that is? Yeah, this is Regeneron's product with the trials right now. What it does is it's two different antibodies. We call them monoclonal from one lineage or one clone. You take two antibodies, they put them together, and they gave that to the president. This is in only phase 2 clinical trials. They've only tested on 275 patients, but the FDA did give him a compassionate use clearance to have that medication. What it is just an antibody. One antibody is coming from convalescent plasma from patients that have been infected before, and the other antibody in this cocktail, believe it or not, comes from mice. We've actually genetically engineered mice that have human immune systems. So they've taken the antibody that binds to that S protein we've been talking about on the coronavirus. It just binds to that S protein and prevents that virus from invading cells. So this is very experimental. It was interesting to see that they gave it to the president, because they only had 275 live patients that are actually getting this medication as of today. So very intriguing, they decided to give them this medication. Now the results that were released recently this week were promising, but a little bit aggressive on what they did here.
President doing a lot of fundraising and other events. And how long might the president and First Lady be infectious, and what do others around him need to know, and how soon do they already be tested?
Yeah, so as far as the testing again, we do not test patients over and over again.
Okay, guys, that was just something that was on the news, excuse me, talking about the cocktail that 45 was given. It was experimental. Then I just turned down the volume. Then they were talking about him 45 being taken to the Walter Reed Medical Center after he was tested positive for Rona. I don't know whether you guys are sick of talking about it. I don't know whether, I don't even know whether this is just something being said. In order for it not to be true, a lot of people would have to be on in all this. So I'm saying, okay, let's just assume that he did test positive for the virus. Can we really expect something different when you're not practicing the guidelines of wearing a mask and social distancing? He's been out and about here and there. It has been reported that journalists, I think at least 3 that work within the White House, has tested positive for Rona, and that's good that more haven't. People that he has around have tested positive. Of course, First Lady has been tested positive along with him. And so you're supposed to be the example to everyone. We're told to do this and that, stay safe, use sanitizer, wash your hands, and I was on a live earlier and they said, well, yeah, when you get home, you need to take off what you've been wearing and make sure that's sanitized, put in the washing machine, and take a shower because you've been out there. And I thought about it, I said, yes, that's right. That mask that we've been wearing, it may have protected us, but who's to say, what's on that mask? It's been exposed to whatever your surroundings was, and thank God if it protected you, but make sure you sanitize that and your body. So it's like, yeah, getting back to him being out and about, and then that farce of a debate when he basically clowned Biden about wearing his mask. Like every place he go, he wearing that mask. I'm paraphrasing. He wearing that mask. Well, look at you now. if this is all true, now you tested positive. So you did not give a good example to people looking at you and people who believe you, which I am not a person, you know, that believe you, but there's a lot of people that support him, and a lot of people will do as he does. Let's wear a mask everywhere. If he only wears it when it's necessary. Well, evidently it was necessary because if the reports are true, now you're positive. So it looked like it was necessary. But there's people who follow his every move, and I'm just saying, like, I'll lead you to someplace you don't want to go. Use common sense, people. Don't just follow somebody because you um may have voted for him, and so now you just gonna stick to that. No matter what comes about, you gonna stick to your decision. Hey, people, it's all right to change your mind. Don't follow a parked car. It is okay to change your mind. You may have been under the impression of a certain thing, and if certain things was going to happen and certain things were going to be done. But people, that's the good thing about free will. We can change our minds. We can stop listening to people who have led us astray, who have led us down the wrong road. You don't have to continue to follow a person. You don't have to. Some people, or one person in particular, we can decide nothing good has come out of this. And we can't believe what you say, no way. And people, I have been to different content creators, channels, and everything, and a lot of people don't even believe that he's positive, that he tested positive. And you guys be mindful, I am not mentioning that man's name. I don't do that. When I do mention it, it's a slip up because I usually, I just don't mention his name. But most people is like, I don't believe nothing he say. So he say he tested policy. Okay, what's the agenda? What's the game? What's the game? What are you doing? Okay. Are you embarrassed about that fiasco of a debate? Some people think that that's the thing where he's embarrassed and he's not going to debate anymore because he made himself look like a clown. But you know what? Every circus needs a clown, so let's get past it. But yeah, I said it. Um, and some people are saying, "Good, that's karma because of your actions or lack of actions." So many people have died from this because in the beginning, when you could have done something even more, uh, you thought that it was a hoax. You thought it was a hoax, so you didn't take it seriously. And a lot of people didn't take it seriously at first, and some still don't. But the thing is, you were put into that office to think things through, that something like this comes along, and people know that the powers of be knew about this before we did. But people just don't take you seriously. So when you say something, they side eyeing you. So they don't even believe you got it. And besides the people who say this is karma, some people just hope you don't recover. Now, I'm not one of those people because I'm not going to wish bad on anyone. No, I'm not. I don't wish no bad on anyone because I don't want that thing to circle around and fall on me because I'm wishing something bad for somebody else. No, I'm not doing that. So, don't get it twisted. I'm just saying that it does not, if this is real, if it is real, you did nothing to prevent it. That this was just a matter of time before it fell upon you. You didn't take any safety precautions. Oh, when you felt it necessary. It was told that it is necessary to be cautious. It is told that social distancing was the best thing to do. Wear your mask and wash your hands. And, like I said, you can go further. You can go further than doing all that. But he did none of that. He didn't say. And then I had brought out a story before. It came out of New Mexico, I think, when he had made that statement. And then took it back, say he was kidding, and his followers was saying, um, "Oh, don't you guys know that he wouldn't do that?" But wasn't he saying, let me paraphrase, wasn't he saying to drink bleach or something? Was it the sanitizer or was it the bleach? And guys, whatever it was, some people died in New Mexico for doing it. I think two or three, and I think they were guys. Like I said, I did a story about it, but I do a lot of stories, so I don't remember exactly what it was. Didn't know I was going to say what I just said, or I would have kind of went over that video again. But see, there's people who look, as strange as it may sound, there are people who look up to him and hang on to his very words. So if he's not doing what he's not supposed to do, there's gonna be, well, he's not doing it, so he would know more than me. So I'm not, he's not wearing a mask. He's not doing this. I see him out and about and at rallies and he's not doing it. So why should I? Some people ought to think for themselves sometime. Take all the information that they've been told, analyze it, and then do what's best for you. Educate yourself on things and decide exactly, okay, I've heard this, I've heard that. Let me let me think everything through. Okay, what's my best move? Okay, what if all of this? What if all of this is true? So I better wear my mask, or I better safeguard myself, social distancing, I better do that. But don't just because somebody is in a elected um position, just because, hey Damien, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. Just because somebody is what you call a high position in government, you better think for yourself before you start doing what he does. Because now, like I said, if the reports are true, he's hospitalized. So let me see. The news is on now. Let me bring it up to volume and see what they're talking about. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna see if they're saying anything pertinent. 'Cause
Cautionary. But it comes less than one full day after the president revealed he and First Lady Melania Trump are infected with COVID, and just hours after we were told he is having, quote, mild symptoms. The White House also says the president is being treated with an experimental antibody medication.
You saw the president wearing a mask as he left the White House, something that he and
My
many
time.
of those around him declined to do.
For Animal News says live on the difference masks can make.
Hi, Ellen and David. Well, everyone's attention is on this because it involves the President of the United States. And then we did reach out to public health officials about what we could all learn from this very prominent example. All eyes are on President Donald Trump and the White House as a COVID-19 outbreak quickly unfolds.
One of the lessons that people should be thinking about, and this is something we encounter over and over again, when we do find a case or an outbreak, we have found that there have been violations, things that we have consistently recommended.
While we don't yet know exactly how this outbreak started, LA County's chief medical officer explains there is a common factor medical experts find.
It is very rare that we have an outbreak and we don't find some type of major violation. Things as simple as everybody wearing a face cover.
During this week's presidential debate, the Trump family entered the room with masks and then removed them after taking their seats. Thursday, we learned one of the president's closest aides, Hope Hicks, tested positive for COVID-19. Wednesday, she was seen walking toward the president's helicopter with other advisors, none wearing masks. And the White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, defended not using a mask while briefing reporters on this very matter after the president tested positive, saying he was socially distanced. And
Okay, I'm gonna turn that down because that's just repeating, what we've heard. But see, like this one guy was saying, when something like this happens and someone gets sick, it's because of the violations. He violated every precaution. And then if all this is true, which I'm gonna keep saying that, if all this is true, then it was just a matter of time that this happened. Like I said, some people don't even believe, they think this is all a farce. They think is a agenda behind it because they don't believe anything this man says. Damien says stupid does what stupid see. That's why people are dumb listening to 45. Now look what he got. Exactly. We still, people I was just saying it earlier before you came in. People hang on to his very words. So if they're going to do that, whatever actions, they're going to look at that. And I repeated it before you came in. They're going to look at that and say, oh, you're not social distancing. He hugging on folks. He's hugging on his aide. Now she's positive. He's hugging on people. So, there's some people that just don't use their own head. I don't care what they say. Now that I know certain things are happening and it has for a while, and I know the consequences of not doing this, that, and the other, even if they tell me it's okay, go about, the way you used. No, I'm not. Until I feel comfortable, until I feel like, okay, I don't have to do this no more, because I'm gonna sit back and I'm just gonna watch, and I'm still gonna go through the quarantine and only going out when I have to for a long time to come, even if they say it's okay. Like some people have said, oh well, you know what? You might hear, well, we're gonna open up things. Go ahead and do this because, and a lot of people believe that they're saying that they're gonna say that because enough people have not died, and it's a form of population control. Okay, that's what a lot of people believe, and I'm not saying I don't believe it, but I'm just gonna, uh, I to be honest with you, I do believe that this is a way to eliminate world population. I do. To name all the powers of be that, I won't do that. That I believe, I won't do that. But I do believe it's a part of population control. But you guys think for yourself. God gave us free will. So make your own decision, get the information, educate yourself about it. And just cause somebody on TV that you look up to, whether it be elected officials or the people in politics, or whether it's the people in entertainment, and people better stop. They better stop having idols where somebody says something and they gung ho behind it. Those people don't care about you. They don't even know you exist. All the ones that's popular, okay, if something happened to them, it's all over the news, just like it's over the news now. But let something happen to you, it ain't gonna be all over the news, Damien. People don't care. They're gonna go about who was that they say you're gonna get 15 minutes of fame. And I say it may not even be that much. But I guarantee you, unless it's extraordinary, you're not going to be on TV or something. So you have to take care of yourself and stop. People better stop following behind these entertainments, these political figures, and just because they're on TV. They don't care about you. They could care less. So I just wanted to come on for a bit. I didn't know whether people was tired of hearing about it. I didn't know whether people, okay, some people want to be heard, and so I was opening up this forum, like, okay, whoever felt like they wanted to say something, let me just get this live, because at first I wasn't even gonna go live today. I got a couple of videos that I'm editing, and I'm gonna either bring one up today or tomorrow. But I wasn't even going to go live. And, I've tried to go live every day, but, this heat in California just got me drained. So I wasn't even going to go live and, just edit at my leisure and upload. But then I say, you know what? Certain things you say, like if you go to somebody's live and you just want to be heard, and not necessarily any feedback, you just want to give your opinion about it. Yeah. um and on this particular live, it'll probably be more replays than people actually in the live. But you know what, Damien? It is what it is. I'll take it. If people want to wait and watch the replay and give their opinions as a comment, I'll take it. Now, I had read this book, and just to change the subject, what they meant say, damn it, if the government don't care about us, what makes everybody think that these famous people gonna care about us? Exactly. Exactly. So it's like, those popular entertainers, or the government people within the government system, the popular ones, people just hold on and hang on to everything that they say. And everything they do, instead of thinking for themselves, they're gonna copy it, because they're followers. Like I said, I don't follow parked car, and I consider 45 a parked car. I'm not following him. He has shown me who he is. So no, thank you. No, thank you. But to change the subject, I had read this book a while back. It's a pretty old book. Uh, I can't even. I mean, a long, like 10 years ago, and I was thinking about doing a series, maybe a couple of, maybe if I need, more time to discuss it, depending on, what kind of feedback, maybe a part two, maybe, or as long as it takes. But the name of it is A Divine Revelation of Hell. And I was just wanted to just discuss with everybody. Now, I don't know whether this is too deep of a subject or people don't want to talk about it, or this is a taboo subject or whatever. But whether it's taboo or not, um, the sign of the times, I say we ought to know something, because the Bible talks about hell more than it does of heaven. And I'm not even saying that I believe everything this book says. I'm gonna have to read it again, because I remember the first time I read it, I was like, oh, wow. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, maybe. And what if all this is true? Oh, I'm gonna have to read it again. So as I read the chapters, I was going to give my review. So, just a review of it, so I won't get any kind of copyright infringement. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to read it word for word. I was just going to read maybe a few chapters at a time on my, without being on live, and then just kind of give my review and ask people. I mean, to me, it could be a good conversation, but I think the fear that people have about this subject, I don't know if a lot of people want to really talk about it. I think a lot of people just um throw things out of their minds because of fear. Because I know certain books in the Bible, people just kind of, stay clear of, for lack of understanding and just scared, just fear. So I don't know if, I was gonna not do it immediately, just like in the upcoming lives that I had, or even maybe a video I'll do. Just get to fill out people if this is something that they want to uh, discuss. And also, besides discussing this book, now this ain't no Bible study, because I have my Bible studies, and I'll tell anybody I'm more of a student than anything. I'm learning. I'm learning more about the Bible, each Bible study, and a lot of it is confirmation that I had learned before, and just kind of, re-going over it. Hey, PQ Grind, how you doing? How are you? Thank you for coming in. Me and Damien, we were just talking about, I didn't know if people were sick of us or not. We were just talking about 45, and the Rona. Um, and then we talked about that for a little bit. But let me ask you what you think about this. I don't know if how much you heard, but I read this book a while back, and I want to read it again and kind of discuss it. And I didn't know who would be interested, because it's a very deep subject. And the name of the book is A Divine Revelation of Hell. And I was also telling Damien that there's books in the Bible that people kind of stay clear of because of fear and a lack of understanding. and explaining that it won't be no Bible study because I'm a student. I love to be a student. There's so much to learn. And then also, I have heard of people testimonies, and you probably have run against some things in the recommendations, that's on that coming on our channel, where people have said that they have testimonies of um, of visions of how hell was, what they experienced. Some people said that they had died for, whatever length of time they were dead, and they saw both heaven and hell. But I don't know, Brian, if that's too deep of a subject because that scares a lot of people. Uh, I mean, even I've heard of people even seeing certain people that everybody know. If you said their name, like, oh yeah, yeah, we know her or we know him, that they saw in hell. That's a subject for some with so many beliefs. Exactly, Grind. So I wasn't sure. I know it should be talked about, but I don't know. Uh, I know it would be interesting, but like you say, there's so many people with different beliefs because some people don't even believe in hell. People don't believe in heaven. They believe in, some people believe after this, that's it. You just don't exist anymore. And so, um, yeah, I don't know. But I was thinking about, you know, just reading this book and just telling what the author says, and not to convince anybody and not to teach anybody, but and people could say, I don't believe that this because this is not the Bible. This is a book, a divine revelation of hell. So I thought maybe I would review it, and nobody would, and ask people not to be offended because this is this author. And even if it is true in her mind, that's her experience. Because even people who say they have visited heaven and hell, they have different, some people have same accounts and some people have different accounts of both places. So I don't know, because in a way I don't want to do it, in a way I want to do it. And the reason why I say I want to do it is because I think people should be aware of certain things, and then think it through, get the information, and make up in their own mind whether they believe it or not. And if they don't believe it, that's fine. And and then I don't want to do it for the very reasons that you said. And then plus, Grind, I can picture every troll in the universe coming in live. It would be interesting, but could cause a stir up in your channel. I know. It would probably, like I said, bring every troll on this earth trying to, I'd probably be deleting and blocking, deleting and blocking. Ah, because sometimes, I've talked about stuff, but not that often, and that's why a lot of times I come in and it'd be an open discussion because I pretty much want to I may have something in mind and I'll go ahead and discuss what I had in mind, but I pretty much want to see what the people in the chat want to talk about. You know, I've talked about fluff things, And I don't know whether that's a good thing or not, just talking about, just having normal conversations. Because it seems to me that a lot of people want to come in and talk about a set subject. You got a subject that, some people say, well, you should have 2 or 3 topics to talk about. Not me personally, but they've said on different channels. It should be, and then some people just want to let the conversation grow organically into whatever we come up with, whatever it leads to. Um, I don't want to talk about deep stuff all the time. I don't want to just state my opinion. I want to see what other opinions and other people's thoughts are. And that's why, people that I know, I don't mind opening up the panel. And if we decide to disagree, we can agree to disagree. But, I just I wanted to talk about something important. You know what I mean? I, I, I can talk about fluffy stuff, but I also want to talk about something that makes a difference. You know what I mean? It's something people should know. And the only reason why I thought about this is because, believe it or not, I've been in my home for about 4 years, and it's a few boxes left, and I start unboxing some things. I said, "Oh my gosh," CDs and DVDs, and like, "Oh my gosh, that's okay." And then, like I said, I had bought and read this book years ago, at least 10 or more years. And then I thought, that would be a good subject, but I had reservations about it. But also, I felt like if this author is really sincere about what she saw, that would enlighten a lot of people. But even in reading it, I was wondering, I wonder if this is true. I don't know. This is her experience. So that's basically what I would, when I wanted to talk about there, because I, some of the things that I remember that had been taught, I had heard that. So I don't know whether it was confirmation, when she repeated, like, oh, that must be it, or what. But I just, I picked that subject because I wanted to have some serious topics along with the fluff that I like, that people just laugh and giggle and have a good time, which I did in your life. And see, I hope Wild Boy come in so we can pick on Wild Boy. Say, what were you yesterday? We were both looking for him. I think he would have a good time. I did. So it's like I have my beliefs, and not to convince anyone, just state my beliefs, and and other people can do the same, not to convince anyone, like, okay, this is why I believe what I believe, and just throw it out there and hoping that people are open mind to listen, even if they don't agree, just listen. But then, like I said, I can see every troll in the universe coming at, my channel. And I'm good at blocking, so, I'm good at blocking. Um, I don't know. I just I just wanted something that, how I wanted to just make a difference in what we talk about, and talk about subjects that people can learn from, or people can share their experiences. And that's why I had done the video on, if people had an experience and they've been holding in things that happened to them, either, they're afraid that people would shame them over it, or people would call them a liar. uh, I invited people to put it down on paper like you would if you had a journal. I have a P.O. box, send it to the P.O. box, and I won't call any names. And even if they wanted me to shut down the comments, I could do that. And they just needed to get this out of their spirit, but I just don't want to be another YouTube channel. I want to make a difference in my channel, and have fun at the same time. If we can come in and kiki and just laugh and be silly, and that's that's good too, because that's needed. I don't want to be serious 100% of the time. uh you start feeling bad, had that bad energy, people coming in, trolls. But you know and to be real with you, Brian, I have seen some channels that not too long ago on their lives, they wasn't doing too good, considering what you call good. And they had a live talking about a particular subject, and I'm saying it was, oh my, 500 or something, or 600 people in their live. I don't want that. I'm sorry. I don't want that. I'd be blessed if I had 20, 25 people. But, but I don't want a whole big number in my life. Now, maybe that's something people strive for, but not me. That's if I would get that many people on the live, I would have to have something where it was like a premiere, and all those people came in, but I wouldn't have to talk like I'm talking now. Just straight to everyone and everybody. Can you imagine how fast those comments would be going? I don't, to me, that would give me anxiety. You know what I mean? To me, it's like, mm. I feel if it's no more than 20, 25 people, it still can stay personal. You know what I mean? I just don't want all them strangers in my channel. The more people come to your lives, the more messy it is. That's my opinion. So it is not my goal. It is not my goal to get like that with all those people in my life. Hey, I'm happy if 6 or 7 people come in. I feel comfortable. I'm not looking for big numbers. I'm just not. And I because I was demonetized and I had to rethink everything, I'm looking at this more of a hobby and not a business. And I know at some points it's going to be about business because of what I plan to do with the revenue. Um, I have organizations in mind that will benefit from it. So I think that's why, me keeping it at a certain level, there's less chance of me being burnt out, when people get to the point where I'm leaving. I'm going. This one lady, content creator, um, she had come to my channel, I had come to hers, and we just get busy sometimes. We have you know, a lot of subscribers, so we can't get to everybody at once. And so gradually we go back to those channels like, yeah, I knew her I knew her when she had just a thousand subscribers, and now she got 5,000. You know what I mean? And so, and I ran into somebody like that, that I was even a mod on her channel, would go to her lives. Well, she's got a nice little number, and when she have live, she has a decent amount of people that's in a live. But this troll came through, and I only seen a little bit of the troll because they get blocked and then they, change up, get another, account and come back in. So there was a lot going on, and I mean, it hurt her. And I just happened to be going through my recommendations of channels, and I saw her channel. I said, oh, I wonder how she been doing. And then I read certain, parts of it, and she's thinking about putting YouTube. Now I know a lot of people say that, and that's sort of like a clickbait to some people. They get a lot of people coming in and they like to be big. Oh no, don't quit YouTube. They just want people to do that. And then they haven't missed a broadcast. It's like, yeah, I know why you did that. And I stopped, I said, don't play with me. Don't play with me. And I stopped following them, stop. Subscribing to them. Well, some of them I haven't. I just stopped going to their channel. But see, from seeing her on live, you could tell she's like a sensitive person, and she ain't, you would think we would have a thick skin and we'd be used to the trolls, but she wasn't. And they said some despicable things to her, this troll. And so, every Sunday I put up gospel music, like, we I only do it on Sunday because most people Saturday and Sunday are used to having, their services, whether online or whatever. And I feel like with gospel praise and worship music, it kind of sets the ground for you to receive, the message that, that's online. So I do it on Sundays right now. And so the last one that I did last Sunday, she listened to it. And, she was saying all she could do was just cry because it ministered to her. And, like I told her before, I would have to take some days off from YouTube to regroup and to get refreshed. So that's why I really don't want to have a live with, hundreds of people in it. No, thank you. That would burn me out too quick. It would really burn me out. I don't want all the people. Now I can have a lot of subscribers that I don't mind but all your subscribers are not gonna come into your life most times unless you got a juicy, juicy, juicy subject. And I don't want to get into juicy, juicy, dramatic subjects because in order to keep those people, you have to continue having juicy news. In other words, being messy. And so anyway, this YouTuber, I think, and many YouTubers, I think that they just need to take a break, which I know a lot have. They need to take a break from YouTube because there's so much on their shoulders. They've grown a lot since the beginning and they're feeling the effects of it. So I just want to be comfortable with this. I want to be monetized so I can do what I want to do that I feel is my calling. Um, and not worry about that. So getting back to this divine revelation of hell, that I'm gonna think about it, grind, because that's a deep subject, and I think many people would be blessed by it. Certain parts, but people ought to realize when they do read a book, they have to be careful, and they have to have discernment a lot of times, and they have to know how to, in other words, eat the meat and throw away the fat. Uh, every word that's written when people write a book, even on subjects like heaven and hell, sometimes it's just for the money and the book sale. So you have to have this, because there's some iffy parts in that book for me, you know, that it's like, okay, I don't see no scripture. I don't see no scripture for it. But we all have to realize that everything God did and everything He said and every action, it, it, the books would be limitless. I mean, the earth could not hold it. So there's some things that we don't know because it doesn't say. So I don't know. I'll think on it some more because I don't want to. I think it would be an interesting subject, but I don't want every troll in the universe. And if they do come, I know how to delete, and I think I have enough moderators. Plan to add some more, but I have enough moderators to take care of the problem. Can you imagine? Atheists would come on. I mean, everybody who would disagree with me or disagree with the Bible or disagree with this lady's book of Divine Revelation of Hell will come out just to attack. So I just planned to come on for a little bit because at first I was talking about the 45 fiasco diagnosis, and then I wanted to talk about some other things, but I'll save that for another time. Thank you, Brian, for coming in. I'm going to end this live because I was tired. This heat. I mean, it's 100 and something. And like I just didn't feel like at first coming on. So I decided to do that. I'm just, I just wanted to run in really quick to see what people thought about, the diagnosis. Is there a positive diagnosis at all? Is this all a game? Or if it is real, you brought it on yourself, mister. By not doing what you're supposed to do and the idiots that follow you. Yeah, I said it. But guys, I am going to end this. It's right at an hour. I've been talking to Damien before. It looked like they left. He left, but that's okay. Somebody's in the bushes, I can see. Thank you for joining me. Those who could, those who can do the replay, I would appreciate it because sometimes I'll be quiet in the beginning until somebody come in. But you know what? I knew I I had my TV on, and so I left my sound on so it would pick up what was going on with 45 in case someone wanted to hear it. So I did that a couple of times within the broadcast. So it's basically the whole live, is conversation instead of silence. Okay, grind. Thank. Okay. Oh, okay. There you are, Damien. Yeah. Thank you for coming in, Damien and Grind. Okay, I'll be reading it because I'm gonna go off right now. Um, it's when it's hot like this, it drains me, and all I want to do is sit back and drink something cold. So let me stay on just for a few minutes, a few seconds, because it'll be exactly 1 hour I've been on. So there we go. I wanted it to click. So anyway, thank you guys. I see you again. If you got something going on, I will, I'll get your notification and I'll visit you. I never see you, Damien, giving content. Oh, thank you, Damien. But yeah, if you guys do something, I'll look out for you and join your channel. But have a pleasant evening, guys. Be safe. Stay away from 45. I'm just kidding. And I'll see you next time. Have a great weekend. Good night.